Sasha. Welcome back to Reading with Toby. Today I have an exciting video for you guys. So today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for next year, for 2020. I'm super excited. There are a ton of good books. I had to like narrow down my list for you guys, but yeah, I am super excited. I have my little book list here written down for you guys. A lot of these, obviously, I'm not gonna be able to give you a full in-depth synopsis, but I'll try to give you guys a little something, let you guys know why I'm interested in it. So I have about 20 books to talk about, so let's get started. All right, so I thought we could kind of do this maybe in some kind of order. I think first we'll talk about authors that I have already read or that I know about. So the first book we have is Death in Her Hands by Ottessa Moshfegh. I think that's how you say it. I read Eileen by her a couple years back. I believe that was her debut novel, and it was nominated for, it was like shortlisted or longlisted for the Man Booker, one of those. And although I didn't love the story of that book, I really found the writing really interesting, and it was really dark and just twisted and really strange. And this book sounds so good. So this follows a woman who is walking along in the woods with her dog, and she finds this note pinned to the ground. It says, "Her name was Magda. Nobody will ever know who killed her. It wasn't me. Here is her dead body." Story kind of takes off from there, and I believe the main woman gets really obsessed with the murder and who was the woman who killed her, and knowing Ottessa is going to be messed up, really dark, and really good. Really excited about that one. Okay, the next one we have is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I'm not really sure what this one's about. I don't really want to know what it's about. I read Station 11, or like I got like halfway through Station 11. I never finished it. Don't know why. One of those books that I put down and I never picked up again for no reason. I just tend to do that. But I was really loving it, and again, she's one of those authors that like, you tell me she has a book coming out and I'm gonna read it. But hopefully I'll be able to finish Station 11 first, and then I can get to The Glass Hotel. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. I think this one's going to make like big buzz around booktube. Okay, next we have Long Bright River by Liz Moore. This book I didn't even realize until I saw one of my friends on her Instagram story. She pointed out that this was the author who wrote oh my gosh, what is it called? The Unseen, oh, the book is right there. The Unseen World, that's right, The Unseen World. This book was amazing. I loved The Unseen World. That, I believe this was, no, that wasn't her debut. No, that's right. So I read that book and I loved it. I love the writing. It was just a very quiet, slow mystery. And this book I think is going to be a little bit more intense and darker. I think you're following a detective in like in the opiate crisis, and I think there's a murder. And it just sounds like it's going to have a lot of commentary on the opiate crisis in the United States, which is a really big deal. And just knowing that I already love her writing, I'm very excited about it. It is a pretty thick book, but I'm still here for it. Next we have Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth. This is the author who wrote the Divergent series. I read Divergent. I didn't read any of the other series because I wasn't interested in them anymore. This book sounds really good. First of all, it's an adult novel, which I love. And I think it's following superheroes and kind of after they've done their superhero things and what it's like to be in that world. Okay, next we have Come Tumbling Down by Shannon McGuire. This is the 5th or 6th book in the Wayward Children series. I have only read the first one. I actually read it last month and I only gave it 3.5 stars, but I love the idea of the book. I love the characters. I loved everything about it. That book just didn't do it for me because there was too much explaining in the first half of the book, but I think now that I'm in the world, the rest of the books I'm going to love, and I love Shannon McGuire's writing. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully I'll be able to get to it in 2020. I mean, the rest of the books before this one are super short. So, I mean, I think it'll probably happen, but either way, I'm excited that she's writing more in the series because I loved it. Right, next we have Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. So this is an author that I haven't actually read a complete novel by. I started Nevernight a couple months ago, I think in October. I never got around to finishing Nevernight, just other books started taking over. I stopped reading it for Spookathon, and then I just haven't had time to pick it up. Other books have gotten in the way, but again, I love the writing, so I think I'm going to enjoy this one. I love the idea that it's about vampires. I know it's going to be really dark. I don't really want to know too much about this one. I'm just going to pick it up and just see what happens. I'm very excited. I'm glad that vampires are making their way back because I think they are a fascinating, like, fantastical, paranormal creature. So yeah, I don't know why people stopped talking about them and stopped writing about them. All right, the next book we have is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This is an author who I've only heard of. I've never read any of her books. I do want to read her Broken Earth trilogy because I heard they're amazing. She's won a ton of Hugo Awards. She's been on like the New York Times bestseller list. She's a famous author, but this one sounds so good. It's set in New York City, and I think it's following 5 or 6 superheroes, and they're like fighting evil. I don't know, it just sounds so good. I love urban fantasies, and since she's so acclaimed, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait. Okay, so next we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Of course, I read the entire Hunger Games trilogy. I really enjoyed them. I'm excited about this one. I don't really know what it's about, who it's following. Like, I heard it's like a prequel. I don't really care. I'm gonna read it. I'm excited about it. Yeah, I really like that series. I did not like the last book, but I am going to read this because it's not following what's her name anymore. What's her name? I know a lot of us are very excited, and hopefully it's not disappointing. All right, so the next one, I don't think Untitled, I was trying to look, Untitled has been released or anything, but V.E. Schwab is writing a new book series and standalone from what I just read. So I'm very excited. I know one is supposedly coming out next year. I've read a few books by her, love her writing. Every story she writes is fascinating. So I'm super excited about this. Like, definitely whenever it gets announced, I'm going to pre-order this book. I'm so excited. The last book that I have to mention from authors that I have read or heard about or anything like that is Mindy Kaling. Apparently she's coming out with a new set of essays. It is Untitled, and I don't even think there is a date yet, but I read Why Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me, and I really liked that. There were a few little stories from The Office or about The Office, and that one was just like my favorite show of all time. So I'm really excited about it. She's hilarious. I can't wait for it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the books that just sound good to me. I haven't heard of these authors. I've never read any of their books, but this will be the year that I'll discover some new favorite authors, hopefully. All right, so first we have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I'm so excited about this book. I actually found an ARC a couple months ago or a month ago or something at the library book sale. If you've been watching my vlogs, you already know this. Super excited about it. They actually pushed the release date to March, so I have a little bit of time to read it and let you guys know before it comes out. So excited about it. So excited to read it. This is following a woman who, when she was 15, got into a relationship with her like 42-year-old English teacher, and it's kind of her reflecting back on her relationship with him, seeing how wrong it was. She gets involved in the Me Too movement in present day. I think it's supposed to be really dark, but I've heard people who have already read it absolutely love it, so I'm very excited about this one. Okay, next we have a YA book actually, and this is called The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This one just sounded so cute. It's following a male-male relationship, and I think they meet because they're both sets of parents, or like one of their parents works for NASA and they are getting sent off to go to Mars, and I think that's how they meet. But then some like dark things happen and they find out some things about the parents, and I think about the NASA trip. I don't know, it sounds just so cute. Like, some of my favorite things, we have some sci-fi elements in here. Like, if you tell me there's a book that like has NASA, space travel, planets, science, anything sciencey like that, space themed, I will want to read it and love it. So I think this is going to be so cute and I can't wait. And I love this cover. Okay, oh yeah, this one is called Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Robel. I think that's how you said it. Oh my god, when I read the synopsis, I couldn't believe it. So this basically, to me, if you have seen the television show, it was a Hulu classic. Oh my god, what was it called? Oh, okay, so the television show was called The Act. If you haven't seen that show, you should go watch it. It's basically about Munchausen syndrome, and it's based on a true story, which is even more insane. This book kind of sounds similar to that. A girl was told that she was sick for years and years and years by her mom, gone to all the hospitals, you know, all that stuff. Finds out she was never sick, her mom made her sick, and years pass and she decides that she's going to reach out to her mom, try to make things good again, or so her mom thinks. She invites her mom over, and I think she's gonna have like a little act of revenge, and that just sounds so good. This book I have is You by Deborah Jo Emmergut. I think that's how you say it. This book sounds really cool. It's like a contemporary book little bit of mystery, but with a sort of magical twist. It's this older woman, she's in her 40s, and she sees like the exact younger version of herself just like on the sidewalk one day. Looks just like her, outfit and everything that she was wearing when she was in her 20s, and she's kind of like shaken up by it. Days go by, weeks go by, and she keeps seeing this woman who is her throughout the city. Then then there's this sentence that really caught my eye. It says, when her elusive double presents her with a dangerous proposition, Abby must decide how much she values the life she's built and how deeply she knows herself. So I feel like her younger version is going to offer her something, and she's gonna have to decide, is she happy with her life, how it is, because you know, like things are going wrong with her family. I don't know. I'm excited though. It just sounds really, really interesting, and I'm curious. Next book is The Swap. I think this is a thriller by Robin Harding, and I feel like I may have heard of this author. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so this follows two couples, two families, and I believe one of the women is like really jealous of the other married couple. One night they all get together and they're like drinking, and they make a proposition to swap partners. And it says it should have been a harmless fling between consenting adults, but when one of the women becomes pregnant, Lo finds the perfect opportunity to unleash her growing resentment. To me, that sounds so good, and I've heard good things about Robin Harding. I don't know, I think it's gonna be a good dark mystery. All right, what else do we have? We have Wonderland by Zoji Stage. So this one author I actually have heard of. I kind of forgot that I heard about her, but she wrote a book called Baby Teeth that I haven't read, nor do I know anything about it. I just saw the cover just looks familiar to me. So she is writing this book called Wonderland, which sounds amazing. It sounds kind of like a horror thriller book about this family that like goes to the woods, and they're like in this little cabin, and something is out there, they're not quite sure, and it starts to mess with their mind. That's all I want to tell you. It just sounds so good. So next we have Sin Eater by Megan Campsey. I'm pretty sure this is all I saw. The Handmaid's Tale meets Alice in Wonderland. Like, yeah, that sounds amazing. My camera battery is flashing at me, which means I am talking too much. So let's quickly get through the last bit here. So we have Valentine by Elizabeth Wetmore. This book sounds like a very kind of dark contemporary novel. It's set in a small town in Texas after a young girl is brutally raped, and it's kind of the aftermath of that, how it's affecting this town. But in this town is like kind of run by these very stereotypical masculine men, and they think, you know, women have like a certain place and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of a commentary on the toxic masculinity. I'm not quite sure. It seems to kind of gonna have multiple perspectives of different women within the town, and how this one rape kind of goes through. And yeah, I don't know, I'm excited. It sounds good to me. So next we have The Regrets by Amy Bonifons. I can't read my handwriting. This one sounds so good too. This is a romantic ghost story, which I already love. I think this cover is super cute. So it's just about a woman who falls in love with a man who happens to be dead but hasn't quite crossed over into the afterlife yet. I don't know, I think it's gonna be kind of cute and kind of weird, and I'm down. And with that, guys, I think we finally did it. I'm just making sure. Yeah, we did it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Those are all of the books that I'm anticipating for 2020. Actually, there's a lot more. There's like so many good books coming out next year, and that I made kind of some sense with this video. I don't even know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.